reaction on the CNBC TV18 exclusive is the chair of the 7th Pay Commission. Mr. Mathur, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV18, so appreciate your time. Let me start by asking you for your first comment on what we are picking up from sources within the government at this point in time. What top government officials seem to be suggesting to us that payment for allowances may perhaps be staggered, and at this point in time the Pay Commission recommendations and the payout will be confined to the salary and the pension component, and also suggesting that some of the perks that the 7th Pay Commission has recommended are notional and may not be accepted by the government. How would you respond to this information, sir?
Well, I have no idea what recommendation they are going to respond and what not they are going to respond. But I am very happy if that is the attitude of the government, that they will immediately release the salary and the pension part, because about 46 lakh of people will be benefited by the pay hike, and similarly the greater pay hike will be to the pensioners that constitute almost 52 lakh people. So I am very happy that they have decided to release them immediately. And they can consider of releasing the allowances after some time, looking to their financial position. However, we have tried to make it that the recommendation should be well within the kitty of the government. But we don't know how much of the actual burden will be on the exchequer. Only our rough estimate is about 1,02,000 crore. But perhaps on the calculation of the allowances, it might exceed a bit also.
Okay, so you're saying that on the basis of the allowance component, it may exceed the estimation, and perhaps the government then, given the fiscal pressures at this point in time, is well within its right to stagger the payment of the allowances. What has been the past precedent, Justice Mathur?
Well, past precedent have been government always delayed the payment of the allowances. Payment of the recommendations in toto, the government do make certain modification one way or the other, and it depends upon the government that if their finances are well within the reach, then they can release forthwith or they can defer it for some time also. In past also, the reports were always belated, and sometime in last 6th Pay Commission it took 2 years to implement them. But I'm happy that they are going to implement the present Pay Commission's recommendation, which is given to them well within the time. The government has sufficient time to react. See, they have to bring this Pay Commission's recommendation with effect from 1/1/2016. We have given them a report in the early November. So I think government has sufficient time to react on that.
Sir, when you made that estimate of 74,000 crore rupees, that was the budgetary spend that you factored in as part of the Pay Commission. Did you factor in the allowances as well?
We did, of course. That's why we roughly estimated to be 1,02,000. But actually, the allowances part is such a tricky thing that it depends upon your basic pay. And sometimes someone has some basic pay, or other fellow has sometimes other basic pay. So exactly working out is very difficult. So we have, on average, we have taken it that it should cost the government to the extent of 1,02,000 crore. But it may exceed if the calculation take deeper.
All right, Mr. Mathur, thanks for joining us right here on CNBC TV18. Let's take a